All right, everybody, welcome back to Not an Option podcast. This is episode 7. Like I said earlier, if you can like and subscribe and share this podcast with your friends, I'd really appreciate it. It's the only way we're going to keep being able to keep going and doing these things if they get some traction. And that's all on you guys. I'm doing my part. I'm here, I'm recording, I'm giving you guys as much advice and stories as I can. And I'd love some interaction and some feedback from you about these podcasts and about things you'd want me to talk about. Today, we're going to talk a lot about being successful and what it takes to become successful. There's a lot of different aspects of your life that you need to improve or you need to focus on to become successful. And becoming successful doesn't just mean being a successful business owner. It means being successful in any of your career choices. I mean, like I said, if you work a 9 to 5, if you work for a company, you should treat that company like it's your company. That's the best way to become successful, is to work your ass off and try to be better than everyone else that you work with. It's owning the company that I own, well, the companies that I own. It baffles me sometimes the way some guys think. And if they just took an extra few seconds to think things through, it's amazing at the difference in quality and production that we would get. And sometimes I just shake my head. It's like, you don't really care, do you? And I know that they care, but it's all about if they care about a paycheck or if they care about them and myself and our company being successful. And you've seen I said our company, because I treat my company like a family. I treat the people that work for me like family. We have to be a team. Everybody has to be disciplined and have integrity for anything to become successful. And it doesn't just start with the project managers. It doesn't just start with the owners. It starts with the workers. It starts with the guys out on the field doing the stuff. Wages aren't cheap nowadays. Everybody's paid a good wage. And you should want to continue to increase your wages and get bonuses and get promotions. And that's the only way that happens, is by being highly successful at what you do. And we're going to talk about how to become highly successful at things you do nowadays. So whether you own the company, whether you are a worker out on the field, whether you're a project manager, whether you're a supervisor, whether you're a manager, a regional manager, you should always strive to be the best at that position. And you should never settle for anything less than being the best. And that should just be your own integrity. The keys to being successful, in my opinion, I watch a lot of different podcasts. I watch a lot of different motivational speakers. I really like Brian Tracy, David Goggins. There's a lot of them out there that I really like. For construction, I like the Contractor Fight. Those guys have a lot of good information and a lot of good stories. But Brian Tracy's one that I really reflect a lot back on, and I want to talk about some of his stuff. But some of the things that I get from these podcasts that I watch and that I get from the self-motivational speakers and stuff like that are the keys to success and being successful: dedication, willpower, resilience, courage, self-discipline, routines, and your relationships and network. And we'll get into each one of these categories a little bit, but I believe these are all very important to become successful. Commitment. You have to choose what you're going to commit to and commit. You have to love what you do. If you don't love what you do, whether it's working for a company or owning the company, you shouldn't be doing it, because now you have a job every day. You know, there's successful people, millionaires, the millionaire mindset. They don't consider what they do every day a job. They consider it like just a routine, and they love what they do. And when you love what you do, it's not a job. You enjoy what you do. And, you know, you have to be able to commit to that. You know, 40 hours is the bare minimum. That's just survival rate. You're just surviving if you're putting in 40 hours a week. Yeah, you might be getting paid for 40 hours a week, but it's the above and beyond that you do, that the 1% do, is what makes you successful, is what takes you to the next tax bracket that you're trying to get to. And, most millionaires, they work an average of 59, 60 hours a week. That's Monday through Sunday. They're always having some type of positive or negative even influence and work on what they're trying to achieve in their goals. Life isn't fair. You're gonna fail. No matter what you do, you're gonna fail. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna fail. The thing is how you handle that failure. Most people fail before they even try because they don't try. The majority of the people have great ideas or great ways to do something, but they don't try them. They just think about them, and it's, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it later. Or, oh, it's a good idea, let me try it tomorrow. No, you got to do it now. You got to really buckle down and commit to doing that now. Being a better person, being a stronger person, being a mentally tough person. When you fail, you should take your failures as learning experiences and grow from them. When electricity was created, they failed 1,000 times trying to create electricity, trying to create the light bulb. If he would have gave up, we would have never had electricity. We would have never had light bulbs. Think about phones, cell phones, cordless phones. How does a phone work? You put the phone to your ear, it's a little bitty box, and you talk into this little box, and only the person you're talking to, by dialing a specific number in that phone, hears you. They could be in China, they could be in Italy, they could be across the world, but they can hear you instantly. There's no wires, it's a box you're talking into. And just think, if someone didn't think of that idea, how society would be today. I mean, it blows my mind how a phone works, and it really does. I like to learn more about how phones work, because it blows my mind that you talk into a little device and someone clear across the world can get you instantly and respond to you instantly, and only you two can hear the conversation. Unless the feds got you tapped or something like that. I'm just kidding. But you can just instantly deliver your message to somebody through a phone. And think about that. Someone had that idea, and they probably failed 10,000 times trying to perfect how to get a phone to work, how to get a cell phone to work. But when they figured it out, whoever figured that out, it's amazing. And just forget about financial gain, but just to do something amazing, that's fulfilling in itself. So you have to commit. You have to commit to the failures. You have to commit to the successes. You're gonna fail. You're going to fail. And you have to brush yourself off, get up, and keep trying until you don't fail. And little successes lead to big successes. Once you learn from one failure, you don't do that again. Try something different. You're gonna fail, learn from that. Now take the couple things that you failed at, learn from those, try something different. As soon as you get it figured out, man, it's gonna open up so many things in your life. Dedication. This pretty much goes along with the commitment. Dedication is dedicating your time, dedicating your resources, dedicating your brain, studying, learning, reading, watching podcasts, dedicating your time to your craft, dedicating your time to what you do in life. You could have a great idea, but if you have no dedication or commitment, you're just blowing your opportunity. You're just fucking up a great opportunity because you're not really putting in the effort to get it to be successful. Or you're not putting in the effort for yourself to be successful. If you want to be the best at your craft. I do construction, so if you're a drywaller, or if you're a painter, or if you're a carpenter, you should always be trying to improve. Anything. If you're an auto mechanic, if you're a computer programmer, anything. I talk a lot about the blue collar because that's how I was raised. But white collar, management, anything. You should be trying to improve, because if you're not improving, you're dying. If you're not learning, you're dying. If you're staying stagnant, you're dying. You got to get that through your head. You don't get anywhere in life by being complacent. And it drives me crazy because there's so many good people that could be great. There's so many great people that can be outstanding and unbelievable if they would just push themselves a little harder. If they would just take inventory or take notice that they have to do things a little better to be great and not just settle for good. You know, be the best. Don't just be good or better. Be the best at everything you do. Strive for that. That's integrity. The next one is willpower. Willpower is doing something when you don't want to do it. Working out in the mornings, or in the afternoons or in the nights. Working out and going to the gym when you don't feel like it, when you worked all day or you have to go to work for the rest of the day. Getting your physical fitness in. Reading, studying, getting your mind right, learning your craft better, watching podcasts, watching self-help videos, getting your craft better. That's willpower. And willpower pays off in dividends when you do have it. When you have willpower and you focus on commitment and discipline, your rate of success is undeniable. It's going to happen. It's going to come if you focus. If you're that 1% of people that put the time in and care about what they do and want to improve it, like I said, you work 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week. It's what you put in over that to improve your craft. That's how you become successful. And willpower is doing things when you don't want to do them. Setting up your next day routines the night before. Getting up in the morning, doing your morning routines, exercising, meditating, doing, writing down your goals for the day. You should have did that the night before, but you should look them over the next day. Getting yourself a plan of action and sticking to that plan of action. Setting up your goals. That's willpower. It takes time to sit down and do the extra stuff, and that's willpower. Resilience. Resilience, like I said, you're going to fail. That's a given. I've failed 20,000 times in my life. And every time someone tells me no, or something doesn't go right, or if something just doesn't happen the way I expected it, or the outcome is different than what I wanted, I don't cry about it. I get upset for a little while, or I might think about it, or it might, bother me for a few minutes. But you have to brush it off. You have to learn from it. And you have to keep driving yourself forward. It's the only way to become successful, is to keep moving forward. It's like Rocky said in the one movie, it's not how many times you get hit, it's how many times you keep getting up. Because life is going to knock you on your ass. Business, your job, things are going to go wrong. You are going to fail. I can't say that enough. Failure is a good thing. You learn from it. You grow from it. And the next time you do things a little different. And sooner or later, when you don't fail, when that process or program or job you're doing turns out exactly the way you wanted it to, you're going to be fucking happy and you're going to be successful. And it doesn't just mean monetary successful. Successful because you achieved what you wanted to achieve. You grew, you learned, you accomplished what you were trying to accomplish. And that doesn't happen without being resilient and without having willpower, dedication, and commitment. The next one I want to talk about is courage. Courage is to keep getting up and trying stuff. It goes along with all the other things. You got to have courage, man. You got to know that something that most people don't think is possible, but if you honestly believe in something, you got to believe it's going to happen. Like you got a gun to your head and you're going to get it done. No matter what it takes, I got the courage to figure this out. It goes back to my 3 B's: balls, bullshit, and brains. You got to have the brains to come up with the idea. You got to have the bullshit to come up with the way to make the idea happen and sell the idea. And you got to have the balls to keep trying and figuring it out until you get it figured out and it's successful. And that's the 3 B's of business that I live my life by. And you should too. Because once you can master those 3 things, you can think of the ideas all day long, but do you have the balls and the bullshit to pull them off? You know, I'm not talking about bullshitting people. I'm talking about fighting through the bullshit and coming through that bullshit to become successful. And once you think of that game plan and how to sell it, do you have the balls to pull it off? Do you have the balls to try it? Do you have the balls to keep fighting for what you believe in until it becomes successful? I do. Do you? You got to think about that. When everybody else says it might not be possible or it can't be done, if you truly believe in something, do it. You know, if you truly believe that there's better workers in your company than you, have the courage to get better. Do it. If you believe you're not the best manager or computer programmer or person in charge, get better. Have the courage to do it. Just do it. Like Nike, just fucking do it. Quit thinking about it. Quit bullshitting about it. Just do it. That's the best way I can put it, you know? I can sit here and lollygag and kiss your ass and talk nice to you, but I'm a real direct, in-your-face person, and that's what you're gonna get with me. I'm not as successful as I wanna be yet. I'm climbing that ladder, but I'm doing it every day. I don't care who tells me no, who says it can't be done. I'm pushing through that and getting it done. And sooner or later, I'm gonna hit the success I want. But you know what? When I hit that success, I'm not gonna be happy. I'm not gonna be content. I'm gonna want more. I'm gonna look at another angle of my life that I could do better. I'm gonna look at another angle of my career that I could do better. And I'm gonna change gears and push to do that better. That's commitment. That's courage. Do you have that? Self-discipline. That goes along with all of this. Like I said, getting up and doing the things you don't wanna do. Trying things that are hard. Keep retrying things that you have failed at. Setting up your routines, working out, eating healthy, living a good, clean life, you know, treating others the way you want to be treated. There's a lot of different things with self-discipline. I could talk about it for hours, but we all know what self-discipline is. And if you're not self-disciplined and if you don't have what it takes to be disciplined, you need to rethink that, and you need to get the discipline, because discipline is key to success. You have to have discipline. You have to make sure you consistently are doing the things that are uncomfortable for you or that you don't really want to do. That's when you need to do them the most, because that's when it shows your discipline builds routines. And if you have routines, that's what 1% of the world lives like this, and those are successful people. There's no better feeling in the world than when you put all this together. And another key part is relationships. Relationships and your network. And when I say your network, you're gonna be the exact resemblance of the 5 people you surround yourself with. You're gonna identify and resemble and mirror the 5 people that you surround yourself with. You surround yourself with people that are convicts or thugs or people that are wasting their life and their talent. You're going to be a convict, a thug, or someone that wastes their life or their talent. Surround yourself with successful people, people that have achieved the goals that you want, or people that can mentor you, or people that you can learn from and you can teach stuff to. You're going to become successful. You know, you surround yourself with 5 millionaires and you're around those 5 millionaires, they open up their network of people to you. They open up their network of living, how that they do things, the way that they live their life, the way they run their company. You're sooner or later going to pick up those traits, or you're going to make those connections. You're going to have interactions with their network or more, all by who you surround yourself with. And that should always be people that you want to replicate or that you admire or you're like your mentors. And don't just take, give back. Teach some of them some of your ways. You know, a lot of people that I've learned from are book smart. And I taught a lot of people that I've learned book smarts from street smarts. And I've taught a lot of people that I've learned life lessons from that are older than me, that are very successful, how to hustle, how to become and legally hustle, not hustle like, stealing and stuff like that, but to how to legally hustle and how to persevere through bad times. A lot of shit I've gone through in my life, they haven't. And when they hear it, it inspires them. So I'm giving back to the people that I'm learning from or surrounding myself with. And don't think you don't have nothing to give a millionaire. Just talking to them, they're gonna, some of your life stories, some of your things you've done, whether you're a mechanic, a tow truck driver, some of the stories you've done, some of the ways you can tell them how to fix their car or things they can do. All of it matters. You matter. The things you know in life matter. The things that you take for granted and you don't give yourself enough respect for matter. And people want to learn them from you. Just how you want to learn from successful people. When you start having conversations with these people, you're going to learn. They want to learn from you. And that's how friendships and relationships and networking is made. Building those relationships, surrounding yourself with the right people. So I'm going to keep this one short today. We're going to wrap this up pretty soon. I hope you guys all enjoyed this. Please comment some topics you'd like me to talk about. I have a few people that I'm talking to that I want to interview on this podcast, a few different ways I want to go with this. So please let me know what else you'd like me to talk about in the comments. Any subjects you want me to dig deeper into. Well, let's reiterate the few things I said are keys to being successful. Commitment, dedication, willpower, resilience, courage, self-discipline and discipline itself, routines, and your relationships and your network. You focus on those areas, you read up on those areas, and you dedicate yourself to commit to working on building those areas as strong points in your life and in your business life, you will be successful. And please, don't be afraid of failure. You are going to fail. And when you fail, you're going to be okay. Learn from it, grow from it, build from it, and keep trying. Don't give up. That's all I ask you guys is don't give up. But I'm going to challenge you. Be the best at whatever the fuck you're doing. Yes, I'm swearing because it aggravates me. Whatever I do, I want to be the best at. I don't want to think that there's anyone in this world that's better than me at anything. So when I try to do something, I do it at the best. When I was framing walls, not only did I frame the wall the best, and I wanted to be the fastest and the best quality, the best product, I cleaned up, I made sure my job site was clean, I cleaned my tools, I got everything ready for the next job, because I wanted to be the best. I wanted to be above average. I wanted to be above good or better. I wanted to always be great at everything I do. That's just an example from being a field worker. Even when I'm learning computer stuff, when I'm learning this AI stuff, I want to be the best at everything I can do. What angle can I take this course and make it better? What angle can I take this course? Now I went better. Now I want to be the best at it. What angle can I take this job I'm doing and get it done faster? Or what angle can I take this job I'm doing and not only get it done faster, but with great quality and be the best? Stop being okay with being mediocre or average or good or even better. Be the fucking best, man. Have pride, have discipline. Be the best. Have that integrity. Do what you got to do to make your money. Do what you got to do to get your promotions. But stop being okay with average and mediocrity. Be the best. That's the best advice I can give you. That's the best I'm going to leave this at. This is Not an Option, episode 7. Thank you for joining me. Hit that like and subscribe button. And please share this video with your friends and help me grow this podcast if you like it. If you don't like it, tell me what I can do better because I'm going to keep recording them and I want this thing to grow. I appreciate your time. Again, pick up my book on Amazon, Not an Option. Not an Option Podcast, episode 7 is over. So you guys have a great day, have a great week. Thank you for joining. Again, smash that like and subscribe button and share this with whoever you can. I appreciate you. Thank you.